So you made a system 5 times 5, and you started in the first.
And this was the musical continuity in my mind, right? From there to there. And then it went on up again.
Oh.
So it went from there to that sound, to that, to that, to that. And then it went across here. So from that to that, and then down.
Down again.
Down again. That would be from there to there, to there, to there, to there. Okay. And then I went to here. Back up again. So from this sound to that sound, to that sound, to that sound, to that sound, and then I came down again.
Yeah.
And that was it. That's why I needed 5. I had to come down. This first one I remember originally was longer. I cut it.
The first
of the 4.
Oh.
It was originally a short piece that just stood by itself, and then but I made it shorter. I think it's better. It's too long. Okay, and then it goes to there. So I mean, there's so few sounds that it almost doesn't make any difference. But the fact is that the way this moves is not directly under my control.
No.
If you see what I mean.
Yeah. It controls.
It's a kind of result of this other process.
Yeah. So how did you decide the sound itself?
I think just by ear.
By trying?
Yeah, by trying them out. And then I was interested. I mean, I had noticed that also with Cage's music, because Cage often, even though the piece is prepared piano, a lot of the notes are not prepared. And the interesting thing is almost not so much the preparation, but the combination of the preparation with the regular piano sound. Because what happens is that the preparations make the piano sound different.
Oh.
It's a little bit like, do you know when you have, when an instrument makes, say you have a piano-violin duet, and the violin plays a lot of microtones, quarter notes, yeah? Have you ever experienced that? It makes the piano sound out of tune.
Yeah.
Yeah? And yet the piano isn't perfect.
Because of the overtones.
Yeah. No, it's not the overtones. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's I mean, the piano is out of tune. The piano is tuned. But the fact is, we're used to that, and that's what sounds in tune to us. If a piano's out of tune, it sounds wrong.
Yeah.
But when you get another instrument that can make these other pitches, they can. I don't know how to explain it.
It doesn't. It's not exactly the same pitch.
No.
That goes with the piano, right?
Right. But what should happen is that the violin making this note between E flat and D, for instance, should sound out of tune. But instead, it's the piano that sounds out of tune.
Yeah.
Right? That's what that phenomenon interests me. Yeah, where one kind of sound which we regard as normal suddenly doesn't sound normal because of some other sound which is not normal. Yeah, there's been a kind of funny transformation. And that Cage once remarked, during this period when he wrote lots of prepared piano music, for a dance he wrote another piece which was not for prepared piano at all. It was for regular piano. And afterwards people came up and said, "How did you prepare it?" They thought they were hearing prepared piano. Because they had so much in their ear, Cage's, and also because the musical gestures were similar. I mean, the music, the way the kinds of things he did were very similar, and they thought they were hearing a prepared piano.
Was that a regular piano?
That's a regular piano, no, yeah. So, anyway, the phenomenon of regular piano with the prepared sounds, that mixture interested me a lot. So that it happens all the time. I mean, you go from, actually here there's only one prepared note, it's this one here. And then you have no prepared at all, and you have completely percussive sound. I mean, this is the rattle, and this is the one with no resonance at all, the loose screw. So it's two kinds of rattling. Then you have unprepared, prepared, prepared, unprepared, and so on, always mixed up. And then you have this thing also of the mixture of these that we were talking about, which make problems because of dynamic considerations. Anyway, that's how that one was made. And as I say, the choices were made pretty much by ear, trying it on the piano. Yeah.
So the difference is then in the system that you don't go this way.
As far as the actual composing procedure goes, right? It goes down, and up and down. Yeah.
So you just decided for those elements, 5 or 6 elements or whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah. Those were first. That was my material, so to speak.
Yeah.
In fact,
And then you
we did
placed
1, 2,
them.
3. Yeah. And the elements, for instance, always tend to have the same dynamic.
Yeah, right.
Durations may change a little bit. That's quarter note. That's an eighth note. But they have the same dynamic. And occasionally something will overlap. I've forgotten how that happened, but let me see. Yeah, you get nice things that, you could have thought of it as a composer, but they sort of surprise you. Like this thing here, which in the way I wrote it actually was just by itself, right? And then would go on down. Then you'd have this sound, and then you'd have the high E. But in fact what happens is it goes to here, and you have to move very fast because in fact it jumps to this other sound, right?
Yeah, I have some problems with that.
Yeah, that's tricky. And
I have to drag it.
you have to give yourself a little extra time. Yeah. And here you get repetitions which were not intended. Which I didn't think of beforehand because I'm going like this up here, coming back down. So that this comes from there. No, actually it comes from here. I thought going from here to here, and this one comes from here to here. But in fact, what happens is the repetition of the same sound.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Okay.
So
now,
it will be a quite different piece when you go that way because you still have to play it.
Right.
The same way.
Yeah. There would be a way of doing this which made it clearer. Because the sounds are it's always the same sounds and they're so similar, you're not going to hear that that's what I did. No.
But it really made the music, right?
But it makes the music have the feeling and the kind of, that it does. That's what I like a lot in composing, that this combination of things that you know exactly what you're doing, and things that are a result that you can't quite predict. Yeah. Because if you always do exactly what you want, it's likely not to be so interesting. Because what you want is always, it's just that. It's nothing else. That's what the chance procedures are about too.
To free yourself.
To make yourself, exactly, from your limited imagination. Oh, that's fine. I've got to move the car.
Yeah.
I might run some errands and take a break.
Yeah.
Second one I cannot remember. Each one is different. And I have a feeling what's happening in the second one. We don't want to take the time. You could maybe figure it out sometime. But
for 5 systems.
It's always the same, right? It's 5 systems with 5 in each. So it's exactly this thing again.
So are you using this in all the 4 pieces?
Yeah. Each of them are 25 bars.
But it's different how you use it. Okay.
Yeah. Just for example, I don't think it's necessarily what I did, but I have some recollection. It's very geometrical. This one here. Okay, the third one. Usually you get a clue if there's something unusual in the middle. Or if there's something that happens only once. For instance, in this one, this happens only here. So that suggests that might be some kind of middle point, but it's the second bar, so I don't quite understand how that happened.
Would be easier if it was the middle bar, right?
That should have been the middle bar. That's going to work for this one, but because I have a feeling I also did. That's my square, right? No, that's short. Yeah, but I might have done something like this. Down this way.
Crossing.
And then this way.
From corner to corner.
Yeah. I don't know what happened in between, but that would be another idea. This one I do remember because that's
This is what you think the second one was maybe?
Might be. The second or the third one. I just don't remember, and I don't remember how it works. I've been trying to clean up my old papers, but I haven't found anything that... I can't find my manuscripts for the early music. I don't know what I've done with them.
Huh.
I hope I didn't throw them away.
Probably laying waiting for you somewhere.
I don't know where to look anymore, so it's a little bit. Okay, this one is actually, yeah, it's 4 squares which overlap in the middle. Can you follow that? Okay, and so that, for example, you can see a few things happening. Because here you have more overlaps, and you have this flourish here, and then it overlaps with this sound here. But the next time that it happens, it's by itself, because why would that be? Because it's in the third. You see, if it's hard to see, maybe we should try to skip these. Yeah, we should have a different color for each one of those. But I don't have it. But you can imagine, I'll do this one legally. That's a little easier to see that better. It's those two, and then you still have this one here. Okay, and then this one here.
Be straight.
But you see, one thing that happens is that we get this thing happening in the middle, where there are 4 things going on, and that's.
So you're not making it easy by just saying this one thing is happening in the middle. All
Well,
4 things, right? Are
Right.
happening
This,
in the middle.
yeah, and I'm trying to see how that. That's why you get all of this stuff going on here. No,
Yeah.
that's one. Well, actually, it's funny because the third one is the one that should be the most complicated, but it's not. The complicated ones are these 2, which are here and here.
Because
And then that one. I've forgotten how that happened.
because it's shifting from one system to another, maybe.
It's possible. It's possible. I don't know. But that's the general idea. It's like this. This is 4. It's like 4 little pieces, which are 3 by 3,
Yeah.
which are put on top of each other, and that leaves certain areas clear. That should be simple. There should be no overlap in here, or there, or there,
Yeah.
or
Right.
there, right?
So there should be.
And that I think you'll see that there, and the overlaps happen in the other sections. Not always, because it's fairly it's fairly thin, but you do get some, and it certainly happens in the middle.
Do you think it will be possible to hear for an audience, a trained audience? Not at all.
It's not. It's not really the point. The point is mostly, I think, the result of doing these things is that the piece has a certain feeling that the structure is doing something, or that there is a structure, and that it makes a certain amount of sense. But you don't pick it up as such. You don't say, "Oh yes, this is the square that's coming back here."
Yeah.
You don't listen to music like that anyway.
But it will have something to say for the performer.
Yeah, it might.
And then it will again have something to say for the audience.
Yeah. But even it's not important for the performer to know that. I don't think.
For the performer.
Yeah.
No, not even for the performer.
No. I'm trying to think of an analogy. I was going to say fugue, but fugue is... Yeah, in a way, fugues. Especially, those fugues in the Wolff clavier that have very slow subjects, say, and they're maybe in 5 parts. Okay.
This is what he has been drawing. The first one, the second and the third, and this is the 4th.
That's a possible one. There's some of these are in 5 parts. That's not a bad example. Still, there are 1 or 2 you don't remember by any chance that are in 5 parts.
No.
Maybe I just dreamt it. Maybe they're in 5 parts. It's one of a lot of flats. That's not crucial, but
did you play a lot of Bach?
yeah. Probably because I can actually do it. Well, I guess this is the closest we'll get. Let's do the E flat. That's a good example. That's what I used to play. You take a fugue like that, where
this is number 9. Right?
It's the second book, and you have a very simple theme, which isn't even rhythmically very distinctive. It's just that, and then you do have the counter subject is a little bit more so, but you tend to get it moves, but the theme is so slow that you don't really. I guess what I'm really saying is that you don't, when you're listening to this, you're not saying, "Oh, there's the subject." At the very beginning, maybe, okay. But once you're into the piece, it doesn't really matter that much anymore. What you're hearing is a certain kind of texture, and a certain kind of resonance, a certain kind of sound.
Everything together.
Exactly. And that's what it's about. And especially on the harpsichord, a pianist often, because you can do it on the piano, will emphasize the theme, and then play the counter subject much more softly, which is wrong. Because on the harpsichord, you can't do that. It just blends, and you get this amazing kind of sonority, which of course has a lot of energy because it has this musical logic underneath it. But what you're hearing is not, you're not thinking subject, oh there's the subject again, oh there's the subject, but you're hearing a kind of movement, and you're hearing a kind of sound which is very compelling, and you sense that there's a logic there, but you don't worry about it, you're just hearing the sound.
Hearing everything
exactly.
at the same time,
And it makes it, and sometimes you're just getting a sequence of chords, because like stuff like this, right? He just has it all, and you're just hearing a bunch of chords, right? You're not hearing voices, you're not hearing 4 voices. So it's about that sound, and that's, this is much better music, but that's what these kinds of ideas are about, I think. It's making a certain kind of sound. It's a very different sound, of course, but it's not about figuring out this thing. Poetry is a good example too. You have a sonnet, which is quite. Do you know sonnet? It's the one where you have a rhyme pattern of A, B, A, C, whatever. It doesn't have to be a sonnet, but sonnet. Yeah, I think you probably call it a sonnet of German. But you have this intricate structure, right? But you don't hear that. What you hear is of course you hear the words, and then you hear a certain rhythm and a certain sound. But you're not thinking, oh, we're now in the second group of 4 lines where the rhyme pattern has to be D, E, F, E or something like that. You don't worry about that. The poet worries about it initially because it gives him something to think about and something that he has to do, but he also wants to do it in a way that you don't notice that he's doing it.
Yeah.
Okay? And this is it's like that.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
Okay. Good. Let's give these pieces a rest. And as I say, I need to go uptown and do a few things. And
we'll take a rest now.
What would you?
This is
okay so far.
This is for piano with preparations.
Got it.
Yeah. Some of them have a different sound than a little rattle sound, don't you think?
I don't get it. No, it's
it's quite good.
not bad. don't hear a rattle unless it's very high. I don't hear the high frequencies, but yeah,
Just very short.
yeah, I see what you mean.
Take it out.
Good.
Has an even longer rattle sound.
Yeah, you're right, I hear it. It could be the piano. I mean, something in the piano.
These usually work better with the rattle, but it's too thin, I think.
Yeah.
Try that. Yeah, it's better.
As long as you don't hit it too hard, yeah.
Still.
It's a nice sound.
Makes a different sound.
Yeah.
Very
Shortish too.
That looks good. No. That's even worse. That's good. No. Yeah.
Like that? Okay.
There's no rattle.
Yeah, right.
That's the point, right?
Yeah. Sounds okay. Yeah, it's good.
If you don't find a screw and every screw you try, it rattles. Can you take a bolt instead then?
Sure, yeah.
Because they have.
If it's disturbing, yeah.
They don't rattle that easy. That's good. I've done that a few times. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, good. We got a lot of these. I'll just take a
Yeah,
couple.
you just take up whatever. I can get those in Norway too.
That's good. All right, great. That goes to my collection.
What is the difference? You say here 2 wedges close between second, 2 wedges, and here you say wedge, rebel wedge. What kind of wedge is this? If it's not rebel wedge,
Yeah.
is it the
I
one
guess-
that you showed to me
Yeah.
from the 50s?
Yeah,
Where is that?
Where'd it go? Did I take it down? I don't know. You took out the preparations for.
Yeah, we didn't use that one, right?
No, it's true. We didn't. I can't remember if we didn't know it.
It's probably here somewhere.
Do you have those preparations in one place? The ones you had we did this morning?
No,
Uh-oh.
I just put it in here someplace. Oh, I should.
You should have kept them together, yeah. Where did you put them? In here? Or in one of your bags?
No,
These are my bags.
in those
In
two.
one of those? Oh, okay, all right. Okay, well, we'll get it back together again.
But
Because
this-
once you have a set of preparations you like,
Yeah.
guard them with your life,
Yeah.
because you don't want to go through that again. But it's true on another piano you may
And
find
yeah,
other stuff.
right.
But even so, it's good to have a
Yeah.
basic collection.
I done that with sonatas and interludes, and I put them in small envelopes.
Yeah. No, that's definitely worth doing.
But this is really what you meant.
I guess so. I can't remember. This is a very long time ago.
So I can choose them,
So,
right?
Yeah, I think so. You could try wooden one. You could even do these guys.
But they will pop out.
I think so. Okay.
But I tried this. When you say wedge, what did you say? What pitch is
That sounded good. Oh.
No, screw.
No,
What
you're
is
lower
this?
down here. You're at.
This one, 2 wedges. I use this.
That sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Is it dry enough?
Yeah, it's fine.
Is this supposed to be very ascetic too?
Very what?
Ascetic. How do you pronounce it?
Ascetic.
Ascetic.
It's spelled ascetic, but it says you pronounce it
Okay.
ascetic. Not necessarily. No. This is more. This is a piece I don't know very well because after the first performance, I don't think I ever heard it again.
So you only heard it once.
And live. Well, I may have
Yeah.
heard it once or twice. At the time, it was written and when David Tudor played it, but then I didn't hear it again, and because he rarely repeated music, you know,
Yeah.
he might play the same piece in different places, but say if he played this in New York, he wouldn't play it again in New York.
Okay.
Um, and I at the time was not sure that the piece was good enough, so I more or less I didn't publish it. I just held on to it, and it wasn't until it came out on the recording came out, and they wanted a copy, and I figured, okay, it's out there, I might as well make the music available.
Yeah.
And then it seemed okay to me as I was copying it. But I haven't heard it since then, except for the John Tilbury, that other recording.
Yeah. The newest.
Yeah. So I don't have any opinions about it.
No.
You can persuade me
I
of
can
almost
choose
anything.
them.
You can, yeah.
So it doesn't have to be as aesthetic as the first one.
No. And I don't have an image.
Yeah.
The first one I have, because I played it myself quite a lot
Yeah.
over the years, including recently, I have more of a picture in my mind about it.
Yeah.
But in this one, I can't remember why and then the earlier one I actually remembered, you know, the process of picking out the sounds and why I wanted them and so forth. But here I don't recall. And also there's so many more here that it's a different kind of situation. Yeah, it's quite a few more, isn't it? It's about at least twice as many. So yeah, just keep going and get what you like. Get stuff that you like the sound of. I think that'll be fine. Yeah.
Okay. Next one. Still working on for piano with preparations. So it's splinter of wood.
Okay. Try it.
And
Shall I do it?
over 2 and no, under 2 and over 1 and 3.
Oh, let's do it. Say over. Did I really say over 2? I wonder if I wrote that. Let me make sure I got the right one.
Under 2.
Under 2.
Yeah.
That's fine. Under 2, so I have to. Oh, I see quite that. Okay. And it can reach over G, right? I see, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's too long. Probably should cut it to 2 or something.
No, it's not a question of, it has to, the thing is, it's G sharp should be clear, and then when you play it louder, it should make a noise. Sorry.
Oh! And this.
But I haven't quite got it. Let me see, suppose. No. I wonder. Why did I want it?
Extending. Is there something missing there, or is it just a big space? Extending over such that.
No, it's extending over 1 and 3.
It's the right sentence, right? Extending.
It does look, oh yeah, it's clearing them. Dampers, under 2, over 1 and 3. Extending over G sharp. They rattle when G louder than mezzo piano, such that, yeah, I didn't know what I was thinking of doing there. Extending over G sharp, maybe.
Extending over such that. No.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't know why it slipped over there. Yeah, extending over such that, but it should be extending over G sharp. I think such that you don't need it all. It just doesn't make any sense.
Such that. No. Extending over G sharp. My rattle.
Such that. No, extend. Yeah. Okay. Yes. I know what I did. I forgot something. So, it is okay. Extending over, and then I meant to write
Yeah.
G sharp, such that G sharp may rattle and G louder. Okay.
Just like this. You have enough
No.
erasers already.
Yeah, that's true. So, now let me just see if we can figure out how to do that. Why doesn't it
Extending the G sharp.
That's fine. How can we get it so that it's I don't know what happened. Let's see if we split this one more time. It's smaller than one time, I suppose.
But
We
isn't
have to do something.
is it when you play the G sharp that it should rattle? Or
Right.
is it
No, it's when the G.
when the G is
Oh, I
played?
see. When the hold on.
When the G is played,
The
then
G is louder, then you can hear the G sharp. Okay, let's see if we can do that. I'm sorry, I just didn't get that right. Okay, I'm going over 2, right?
yeah. No, under 2.
Under 2.
Yes, it's supposed to be under 2.
Can you hear the G sharp?
But I hear more the rattle sound.
Yeah. I'm not hearing the G sharp. Let's see. Maybe we should go back to. No, we had the bigger piece, right? That's must have what to do with that stuff. Let's try it over. I'm sorry, I just completely forgot. That it was just the G you're hitting. That's too far. That's because I'm holding down the damper.
Oh.
But that's okay, that means it is picking It's working that thing. Okay, do you hear G sharp?
Yeah.
But,
Did you hold the damper?
yeah. You certainly hear me pretty loud. If you be very supple, then you don't quite hear it, right? Okay, I think that should do it.
Yeah.
That should be okay.
Okay. We didn't went through everyone. Should we just take it from the beginning?
Okay, are you all done now?
No, I'm missing the 3 or 4 last because I wasn't sure how I was going to do
Okay,
it.
well let's do those, then we'll have everything. Bow close to dampers to rattle from that mezzo forte. Okay, where's
Okay,
that?
this
That's F
is-
sharp.
Yeah. So we have to get in the back there.
And that
Maybe there.
goes to the dampers. Yeah, I think we can do it on the side. Put it in there. I think we don't want too large a boat. Seems quite big. Let's see if I have a small one. You need to get some smaller bolts.
Yeah, I only bought the big ones. They're all too big. This maybe. No, it's too probably too big.
It's pretty big. Let's see, that's pretty big.
Let's see.
Best thing about, let's see. No. Okay, I think that's all right, and then it rattles from that so forth.
It's a short rattle.
Hmm?
It's very short rattle.
Yeah, but still it's rattly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would probably work better, but it's not bad. It's possible. Okay. E. Close to damper wedge.
Now
all
that
ready
I'm
use-
really interested in how you're gonna do, because there's only one string on your piano. And that's a problem you often get when you go from piano to piano.
Mhm. Well, let's see. Let's see what we can do. Again, we should have bought some smaller bolts, but this is the hardware store. I didn't think of it. Go with yours. Oh, actually, this is bigger, so. I don't have to go down.
Oh, there is two. Is this the right?
E. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Oh, it's good. That's
This
not
is really good for
okay.
too long.
So now we need some kind of. What I think is it's just the way it should be to mute it, and it doesn't matter. I think if it's. Let's see, use one of your. This is a eraser here. It's not too thick.
You
Let's
can
see.
just cut.
Yeah, that's going to be too big, too small. Let's try this. It's not bad. Got one more rattle. And I can't go too far down. Oh, the rubber fell through. Okay, shoot.
Take the scissor.
Still got it out.
There's small fingers.
I spend a lot of time inside pianos. Hold on. I'll move it. Let's try this again. Try this one first. It's acceptable.
It's not rattling too
It's
much.
not much right.
No.
At least it's, yeah, I think it will do. All right, and then we
So
have a look.
it's leaning against the wedge.
Yeah, it's okay. Let's see why not. I can't have it too far down or it'll hit the stone
Yeah,
here, you
yeah.
see. Let's start. It'll fall down.
No, that.
Actually, it rattles last time, so. Lost the rattle. What we need is a smaller bolt is the thing.
Yeah.
But
What about? Oh, this.
well, that's even bigger than it's huge.
Wedge.
That's certainly rattly. Okay, actually that might be a good idea. Now we just want to mute it a little bit. Yeah, that's not bad.
Actually, it rattles when it's lying
Against the,
down.
yeah.
And against the. What do you call this?
I don't know what those things. I call them bars or supports or something. I don't know
Yeah.
what they're called. But that should
Can
do.
you
That's-
use that if you?
in this case, sure, why not? You know, because we're in a somewhat unusual situation. Okay.
Hmm.
Then the low D.
a long, thin one. I don't have a long, thin one. If you have a knife, we could cut one of those in two, like this.
Yeah, but I think erasers don't come very thin.
No, they don't. Oh, yeah, that.
Let's see what that's like. It's going to break.
Eraser from the 50s?
It's an old one. It's going to break. It's all dried out. But
yeah.
Let's see if we can do it. 100D. Over D, under. Okay, okay. Pretty well muted. That's pretty well muted. Okay, we got it.
Yep.
All right.
So should we just take it from the top and then you can listen to it and see what I do.
Okay, that's close. I can't do the D because that's already. That was true. That's okay. You're getting some pitch.
Yeah. I didn't use the jar rubber. I just used the string kind of.
That's fine. Yeah. Oh, I see. That's way. Yeah, that's good. That's good. It really. It's okay. All right. Very good. Okay. We're closer to. That's not bad. That's the A screw. So. Okay. Good. We're missing this one.
Yeah. Okay.
2 edges close. So that's very muted. I think, rubber will do. I wonder if we use one of these for, where's it, F sharp?
2 wedges. Oh, you can use, when it says wedge, you can use even wedge
I
of
think
3.
in this case, but we've done it. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It is here. You got it. You did it with these guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's fine. Okay.
This one with the penny. I think I got the rattle sound that we missed before because it's a different string, right?
Yeah, actually, I don't really want the rattle sound here because I think I would have said so.
It's easier to not get it, but
okay,
I just kept it because.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. This one isn't doing anything. Okay. Yeah. That's not too bad.
There I just used from this, covered from this.
That's good.
What do you think?
Sounds good. That's nice.
A little loose set, right?
Yeah, it's nice. It's lovely.
There I used this as a wedge instead of those.
Yeah.
Because you didn't say anything about the wedge.
No,
which
fine.
means it's probably the wedge from the 50s, right?
Yeah. That's good. And then we got here. This is.
And that would quite well to get it.
Yeah. This is surprising, but I think it's okay. It should have some pitch in it, is the thing. It shouldn't be just.
What about now?
Well, that's good. Yeah, that's good. What did you do? Oh, you used the side. Very good. That's good. That's lovely. Okay. Okay, and then we got it.
Yeah.
We got it. Very good.
Then we can do the next one.
Okay.
Have you played this?
No, that's way too. I can't even begin to play that.
Okay.
You know what we could do? You want to listen to a little bit of it?
Yeah.
David Tudor
Yeah,
playing?
let's do that.
Let's do that. I'll have to do that there, right? Do you have to bring the music? Oh, just made it, huh? Last note on the keyboard. That's wonderful. Okay.
So this is the sweet. We're now preparing
Right.
for the sweet.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's wooden. That's not wood. Is that okay? Yeah. It's got a little
You probably, with a long screw, you probably mean even longer than that one.
Not necessarily, no. What do I say, long screw?
You say long screw, so it's
Oh,
at
I
least
think it's
longer
just so
than...
that you can lean it up against. I think it's,
Okay.
no, that's fine. That's fine, yeah. It's okay. Okay. Whoop. No, that's my mistake. I'm sorry. We're here. Wedge. Okay. Very good.
It has a slight rattle.
Mm-hmm.
And not a rattle, but...
You gotta get the pitches wrong. It
Oh.
sounds like it should be there.
Oh,
Okay. See if you can do it. I don't know if you can do it, but
yeah, right.
give it a try.
You're right. I can probably do it.
Do you have the scissors there?
Oh, sorry.
Oops, I missed it. Yeah, you have to get, I guess, just a heavier. I mean, normal. This is cat food tin can, which is very light. It's aluminum, but if you can get an old-fashioned tin can,
Yeah, that wouldn't be a problem really, would it?
shouldn't
No.
be. It's harder.
Just
it's getting
thicker,
to be harder.
right?
Yeah, it's a little thicker.
But that's good. Oh.
It's good sound, but we're getting too much of the C, you see, because C is already, somehow, it's already muting the C, you see.
But it's supposed to mute C, right?
But only for mezzo forte, you see.
Oh yeah.
You should have a clean C.
It should rattle at mezzo forte.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's if you have it just over it, so if it's quiet. This one, for some reason, it's touching the string already, so that's why we're getting that extra.
Oh.
We're getting a prepared sound instead of just a clean sound. Yeah, I think it's the tin. It just needs heavier tin. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Okay. So we'll just go from the top, right?
Yeah. So you finished?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yep.
No problem there. The wood. Yep. The wood. Very good.
Slightly.
Almost too much in tune, yeah. But it's okay.
Too much in tune. In tune.
Yeah, should be a little bit off.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But you weren't gonna.
I didn't know. Is that general in your preparation? That
That they're used to make microtones. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you say to sound like this, you most of the time
Well, here I
want it to
actually
be
said-
a little off,
Yeah,
right?
here I actually say I think about a fifth of a tone above.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a little fraction above. There we go.
Yeah.
That's good.
But now it rattles I had a problem with this because it rattles. I couldn't find a screw that would fit.
Yeah. Do you hear a rattle now?
Mm.
You do? Well, you can't win. I don't hear a rattle, so it must be very high because...
Yeah. Maybe we should try bolts. Can we try bolts instead?
I wouldn't do them that high on this piano. It's just too much. They really spread the piano.
Because
the thing
of the
about the
speed,
screw,
right?
yeah. Screw has the advantage that you can ease, you go in easily, so the
Yeah.
pressure, whereas the bolt you have to pull it apart to get it in, that's a little scary.
So that's the reason why you don't use bolts in the high.
Right, exactly.
But if it doesn't damage the piano, then you can do it, right? If it,
Yeah, very small
them,
bolts
yeah.
would be okay, yeah. Screws are just easier to put in. Okay, so that's... I don't hear a rattle.
Not now.
Okay.
It's gone.
Okay, and this we don't know what to do about that.
We would need something else for that, right?
And the other big problem is this, because
Yeah.
we should be able to raise that, and we can't because of the tempo. So, just didn't want to stay up.
I suppose you could take it out and bend it a little. Or...
You can't bend it because this thing's in the way.
Oh yeah, right.
It needs to be lined up higher.
So what I'll do is just to try to find something heavier.
Yeah, I think what happens is simply when you hit the C harder, that's good. Yeah, good one. Somehow the vibration of the note makes the tin that's above it rattle.
Yeah.
If it's just in the right place. Okay. Anyway. There's some woody sound, okay?
Woody sound. Yeah,
Okay,
because
and
the
the
woody.
rattle and the rattle after notes forte, that's good.
I used bamboo in here.
Oh, okay, nice. No rattle in the high. Okay. Good. Let's do resonant.
I know what I did. The problem is that
It's
they're
location,
crossing.
yeah.
And so I wouldn't get a bolt and with this around it.
Yeah.
And there's a problem also with this because I tried that and it usually just jumps off when you're playing it.
Yeah.
So what I did was to take one of those, which is almost the same material, and it's a little harder to make up for the bolt that's missing.
Do we have slightly lighter? Scissors here? Or would I take them away again? Yes. Okay, let's try something. Where's that bowl of yours?
This?
Well, the one that you got in there, yeah. Yes, sure. Oh, I see. That's what you used as the bolt. All right, let's try using the bolt. See what happens if we do that. This is what they're short. Oh yeah, this damn left shot. But you actually got it in there. Yeah.
But here it's too dangerous because if it falls in,
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it destroys the whole piano.
Well, it doesn't, but it means you're taking
Yeah.
Okay, that's a nuisance. Yeah, I see the problem. The other problem down here is that you very often, if it's too far apart, then the damper doesn't fall back down on the screen.
Yeah.
Good. That looks impossible on this plan. I'm very sorry to say. Yeah, you still have a down. That may be the piano, but it was skip.
But then again, that's what you get. The pianists get that. I tried this one too. This would be easier. It's something for cards, I don't know.
That's plastic, basically.
Yeah. It's too hard.
I think basically what we want here is something that's not too resonant.
Yeah. Maybe.
How about let's just try something plastic here, piece of wood. Unless we did two pieces of wood. The other problem is going to be that's the last.
So the most important thing is that it's not supposed to be too resonant.
Yeah.
So
That's not bad.
So if you have to change the material, the sound is the
Yeah,
most
the
important.
sound is
right?
important. It's possible. This might fall out because we're very close to the dampers.
Well, we could make
Where's
some tracks in it. In this I made tracks.
Something's resonating. What is that? You hear it? Oh, it's the C. No, it's the B flat. Why am I getting it? You hear it?
It's just overtone.
I guess so. It's something. This piano is quite funky, so you don't know what it's
But it's not this because.
Yeah, it's damp. You're right. Okay. Voice joke all over.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay. Anyway, that's not bad for the quality of sound. And yeah, that's quite a radical solution because it has nothing to do with what I said. But under the circumstances, it's all you can do.
So you change the material to get the sound that you want.
If you need to for the problem situation. Yeah.
Because of those.
That sounds all right.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Just do this. Everybody, there are a lot of bees. They come from. No, yes. That's the secret. Is it bee in there? No, what is that one? It's this bee, isn't it? That's nice. That sounds very good.
Yeah. Is
It
there
still
something
remains
else?
to be seen how it would sound with the, the context.
Because you probably would have to do some changes when you play, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Is there something that you want to say that you haven't said about the other pieces that is important?
Just this one thing this is mean because this is not easy, and if you miss one of these notes and you hit a prepared one by accident, it's really going to stick out.
Yeah.
At least for anybody who knows what that's an issue in the piece. Yeah. But so you have to be particularly careful in the first one not to get any of the prepared sounds.
So to hit the right notes is very important in the whole piece, right?
I mean, it's always important, but in this one, as I say, that you'll be betrayed by the prepared. Okay, yeah. Alright. And that's where it starts. Actually, right away with it. It's the high A, right? Yeah. Is that a preparation or is it just the piano? That's the piano, isn't it? Oh, this has a bad E flat. Yeah, piano, it's already prepared.
Oh!
There's something wrong with that. I don't know what it is.
So that's supposed to be a normal tone, right?
This is, yeah, I usually.
What is that?
I don't know what it is. I cannot figure out. It's very annoying.
That's the damper that was. Oh, it's
Oh, it's
damper.
better. It's the damper. It's better. Yeah, the damper's not working. Yes, I've been avoiding pieces in E flat. It's better though. Okay. Alright, that was, where was I? 7. Okay.